Very good morning to all of you. Okay, so our topic for today is application of derivative and JEE previous year questions. Okay, we are going to start in just 2 minutes. Good morning to all of Okay, so now let's start. The number the number that exceeds its by greatest amount is okay. So first question is the number that exceeds its square by the greatest amount is okay. So here's the question of so in this question they are asking that the number is its square. It means the difference between the number and its square, the difference between the number and its square by the greatest amount. So what is the greatest value of the number and its square? It means this is the required function y is equals to x minus x square, and we want to find the maximum number x, right? So first of all we are going to derivative both the side with respect to x. So dy by dx is equals to 1 minus 2x, and comparing it with 0 we will get here dx x is equals to 1 by 2, which is a critical point. So comparing dy by dx with 0 we get here x is equals to 1 by 2. Now checking with double derivative test, so d square y by dx square is equals to minus 2, which is less than 0. It means x is equals to 1 by 2 is which point? Maxima point. So the number that exceeds by its square by the greatest amount is 1 by 2. So required answer for our question is 1 by 2, right? Okay, got it everyone? Okay, so now next question. Let's move forward and take a snapshot of this. Okay, now question number 2. So in our second question, the function f of x is given by x plus e raised option A, decreasing for minus 1 to infinite, increasing for all x, and decreasing in minus 1 to infinite. There are the options. So basically we want to find the function in which range the function is increasing or in which range the function is decreasing. The question of IIT 1994. So first of all, for finding the critical points, we have to compare f dash of x of this function is first term outside. It means x plus 2 outside. Derivative of second term is e raised to minus x into derivative of minus x is minus 1. So I put a minus sign before, right? Plus second term outside. Second term means e raised to minus x is outside. Derivative of the first term is 1, right? So taking common, e raised to minus x is common from both the terms. We will get here minus x minus 2. Minus is multiplying with this bracket. So we get here minus x minus 2 plus 1, right? Is equals to e raised to minus x minus 1. Taking minus common from this bracket, e raised to minus x into x plus 1. So here we have one critical point, which is minus 1. Minus 1 is the critical point, right? So for minus 1, rightmost side is positive. Minus 1 is coming from odd power, so sign change, which means plus becomes minus. So here extra minus is there, so we have to change the sign of this. Plus becomes minus and minus becomes plus. So final sign of our f dash of x is minus and plus. It means minus infinite to minus 1. In the range minus infinite to minus 1, f dash of x is greater than 0. In the range minus infinite to minus 1, f of x is greater than 0. In the range minus 1 to infinite, f dash of x is less than 0. It means in this interval function is gradually increasing, and in this interval function is gradually decreasing. So we have to select the option minus 1 to infinite, function is decreasing, right? So this is the answer for our question. Minus infinite to minus 1, function is increasing, and minus infinite to minus 1, function is decreasing, right? Okay, so take a screenshot. And moving forward to the next question, problem number 3. Okay, so next one is question number 3. Okay, in the third question, the function if y is equals to 4x minus 5, if y is equals to 4x minus 5 is tangent is tangent to the curve, which curve? Y square is equals to px cube plus q at 2 3. Then find the values of p and q. P is equals to question mark and q is equals to question mark. This is the question of IIT 1994 question, right? So first of all, we are going to read the question carefully. y is equals to 4x minus 5 is a tangent to this curve. At which point? At point 2 3, because here the word is at, not passing through. The meaning of at means what? At this point, it means this point is lying on this curve. So this point is this equation. Obviously, this point is satisfying this equation, right? So first of all, we are going to find the slope of 4. Comparing this equation with y is equals to mx plus c, m is the slope of the line, so m is equals to 4. So slope of this line is 4. So our required tangent is, this is the tangent. It means it is dy by dx. 4 is equal to, say, 4 is the slope of the tangent, therefore dy by dx is equals to 4. So now for finding the dy by dx, we are going to differentiate this function both the side. So we will get here 2y into dy by dx is equals to 3px square, and q is the constant, so derivative of that term is 0. Now substituting the point 2 and 3. So x is equals to 2 and y is equals to 3. So 2 3s are 6 into dy by dx. We know that the dy by dx is 4. So 6 into 4, 3 into p. Now x square. X square means 4. So 4 gets cancelled. 3 2s are. Therefore, the value of p is equals to 2. Value of p is equals to 2. So now 2 3 point is lying on this curve. It means this point is satisfying this curve. So substituting this point in this, we are getting here 3 square, y value of the y is 3. Therefore 3 2 cube is 8. It is 8p plus q. Now the value of p is 2. Therefore 9 is equals to 8 to the 16 plus q. It means q is equals to 9 minus 16 becomes minus 7. So the answer for is p is equals to. So take a screenshot, and if you have any doubt, then comment in the chat box. So everyone getting me? Okay, so link is already forwarded. Okay, chalo. Next question. Question is problem number 4. On the interval 0 to 1. On the interval 0 to 1. The function of x is given, and it is x raised to 25 into 1 minus x to the power 75 takes its maximum value at the point. So we want to find the maxima point, right? Maxima point is equals to question mark, and this is the question from IIT 1995. Okay, so very easy question, right? So you can also check it out from the options, and options are given, but we are going to use the method of this. So f dash of x is equals to, because this question can also be asked in numerical type question. So we are going to solve these questions by the method, right? So first of all, for finding the critical points, so what is the method of finding the maxima and minima point? The first step of finding maxima and minima is the critical point, right? So for critical point, we have to find f dash of x, comparing the f dash of x with 0 and after finding the critical points we are going to derive this, and from double derivative test we can also find out the maxima point, and with the help of first derivative test we can also find maxima point, right? So here f dash of x, first term at outside, derivative of second term is 75 into 1 minus x to the power 74, and derivative of 1 minus x is minus 1. Okay, plus second term at outside, so second term is 1 minus x to the power 75, and derivative of the first term is 25x to the power 4, 25x to the power 4, right? So taking common from this both the terms, so minimum power of 1 minus x is 74, 74 power is common, and x to the power, sorry, 24 power at front reducing one power, so x to the power 24 is common, x to the power 24 into bracket 1 minus x to the power 74. So these terms are common. So now remaining in the bracket is minus sign and 75x plus here the remaining term is 25 into x. Okay, so x raised to 24. This can also be written as x minus 1 to the power 74, because here the power is even, so we can split the terms 1 minus x into x minus 1, right? Now here minus 25x and minus 75x, it means minus 100x plus 25, minus 100x plus 25. So taking minus common from this minus 25, minus 25 is common from this last term, so we will get here x to the power 24, x minus 1 raised to 74 into minus is common, so the remaining term is 4x, 25 fours are, it means 4x minus 1. Okay, so now for the critical points we are going to compare f dash of x with 0. So the value of x is 0, value of x from this bracket is 1, and value of x from this bracket is x is equals to 1 by 4, because comparing with 0 we will get here 4 critical points. So now simply we are going per line. So here it is 0, it is 1 by 4, and it is 1, right? So we are going to start from rightmost side. So rightmost side positive sign, 1 is coming from even power, it means sign doesn't change. 1 is coming from even power, it means sign doesn't change, so plus is plus. 1 by 4, 1 by 4 is coming from odd power, it means sign change. Now 0, 0 is coming from x raised to 24, x raised to 24 means even power, so sign doesn't change. But here we have to notice that all the function is having minus sign before, so we have to convert all the signs with opposite sign, it means plus becomes minus and minus becomes plus, because we have minus sign in front of f dash of x, so we have to convert all the signs with opposite sign, right? So in this interval function is gradually increasing, in this interval the function is also gradually increasing, in this interval function is decreasing, in this interval function is also decreasing. It means 1 by 4, 1 by 4 is what point? 1 by 4 is local maxima point, local maxima point. So if it is the question of numerical type, then the answer will be 0.25. 1 by 4 means 0.25. So this is the answer for this question. And what about these 2 points, point 0 and point 1? What about these 2 points, 0 and 1? 0 and 1 are the which point? Point of inflection, point of inflection, because it is the critical point, but that point, nature of the curve doesn't change. If the nature of the curve doesn't change, then that point becomes point of inflection. It is inflection, point of inflection. So they can also ask that in this function, how many number of point of inflection? How many number of point of inflections? So here the answer of number of point of inflections are 2. 2 are the points which are the point of inflections, right? Okay. So Our fourth question, answer of the fourth question is 1 by 4. So maximum point is 1 by 4, right? So please take a screenshot. Okay, now moving forward to next question. Everyone got it or not? Okay, so in the third step, okay, so here minus 75x minus 25x. अब देखो यहाँ पे minus 75x and minus 25x. It means minus 100x plus 25 minus 100x plus 25. Here in this bracket, we have to take common minus 25. So minus 25 is common from this bracket. So remaining term is 4x. 4x minus 1, right? So f dash of x is equals to 0, x equals to 1, x equal to 1. From this, x is equals to 0, and from this bracket 4x equals to 1. It means x is equals to 1 by 4. So x is equals to 1 by 4. So these 3 points are the critical points, and these critical points can be indicated on a number line. So we are going to test by the first derivative test. First derivative test. So for first derivative test, we have to find the sign of f dash of x. So sign of f dash of x, here from the rightmost side, put the positive sign. One is coming from this bracket, and the sign of and the power of this bracket is even. If the power is even, then sign doesn't change. It means plus is plus. 1 by 4 is coming from odd power. Power is 1. 1 means odd power. So if it is coming from odd power, then the sign is changed from opposite. So plus to minus, right? 0 is coming from even power, doesn't change. So minus is minus, right? But here we have a negative sign in the f dash of x. Negative sign, it means it changes all the signs, right? So plus becomes minus, plus becomes minus, minus becomes plus, and minus becomes plus, right? Okay. So in this way, we can find that the function is gradually increasing. In this interval, it is also increasing. In this interval, it is decreasing. Minus sign, it means decreasing. In this interval, it is also decreasing. So local maxima point is what? 1 by 4 is the local maxima point. And these 2 points, at these 2 points, the derivative of the function becomes 0. Derivative becomes 0, but the nature of the curve doesn't change. It means this point is the point of inflation. This is also point of inflation. So number of point of inflation are 2, right? Okay. Chalo, got it or not? Okay, very good. Next question. Question number 5. Okay, let's solve question number 5. Fifth question. The question is f of x is equals to ln pi plus x upon ln e plus x is we have to decide that the function is increasing in which interval and in which interval the function is decreasing, right? So there are 4 options given. We are not going to copy that options. We are just start solving the question. It is a question of IIT 1995. So first of all, for deciding the increasing or decreasing questions, we have to deal with f dash of x, and if f dash of x is greater than 0 in the given interval, then the function is increasing, and if f dash of x is less than 0, so in that given interval the function is decreasing. So first of all, we are going to find f dash of x. with the help of quotient rule, we can say denominator at outside ln e plus x is outside. Derivative of numerator, it means 1 upon pi plus x plus minus numerator at outside ln pi plus x is at outside, and derivative of denominator is 1 upon e plus x. Also we have to multiply the derivative of this function, but derivative of this function is 1, so we do not have to write this. Okay, now in the denominator, the square of the denominator, it means e plus x whole square. Okay, denominator at front, derivative of numerator, minus numerator at front, derivative of denominator upon denominator square. So now taking LCM from denominator, ln e plus x whole square, and LCM is pi plus x. So now e plus x is multiplied with this term, e plus x ln e plus x minus pi plus x ln pi plus x, right? Now we are going to decide the sign of this f dash of x. This f dash of x is greater than 0 or less than 0, in which f dash of x is greater than 0 or less than 2.718, and the value of pi is near about 3.14, 2.718 and 3.14, right? So the value of e is smaller than pi. Value of e is smaller than pi. Now we are taking here x is greater than 0. So we are going to add both the sides x, right? So e plus x is less than pi plus x. E plus x is less than pi plus x, right? So you can also say that taking natural logarithm both the sides, ln e plus x is also less than ln pi plus x. It means we can say directly multiplying this left hand side with left hand side and right hand side with right hand side, we will get here e plus x into ln e plus x is less than pi plus x into ln pi plus x. So this term is lesser than this term. This term is lesser than this term. And if x is greater than 0, then this term is positive, this term is also positive, and this term is also positive. So whole denominator is positive, but the numerator, in the numerator, this term is lesser than this term. It means the smaller number is larger number is subtracted from smaller number. Larger number is subtracted from smaller number. It means whole numerator is less than 0 and denominator is greater than 0. It means f dash of x is less than 0. Here we can also take this one at left hand side. We will get here ln e plus x minus pi plus x ln pi plus x, which is less than 0, which is less than 0. If it is less than 0, then after the function is decreasing, but decreasing in which interval? X greater than 0. X greater than 0 means 0 to infinite. In the interval 0 to infinite, the function is decreasing function. So from the option we can choose option B, decreasing on 0 to infinite, right? So the function is decreasing in 0 to infinite. So very basic question. Okay, understood everyone? Getting me or not? Okay, so see here one more time. First of all, we have to decide in what interval the function is increasing or function is decreasing. For deciding increasing, decreasing function, decreasing function, we have to find the sign of f dash of x. If f dash of x is greater than 0, is increasing. If f dash of x is less than 0, then function is decreasing. So here f dash of x, denominator at front, derivative of numerator minus numerator at front, derivative of denominator upon denominator square. Taking LCM, pi plus x and e plus x is LCM. So e plus x is multiplied with this term and pi plus x is multiplied with this term. So now you know very well that the value of E is 2.718 and value of pi is 3.14. It means E is less than pi. Definitely E is less than pi. So adding both the side x. So E plus x is less than pi plus x. Taking natural logarithm both the side, it means ln E plus x is less than ln pi plus x. Because we have to deal with E plus x and ln E plus x and pi plus x with ln pi plus x. So here E plus x is less than pi plus x and ln E plus x is also less than ln pi plus x. So now multiplying left hand side with left hand side, right hand side. Result number 1, result number 2. Multiplying left hand side with left hand side, right hand side with right hand side. So we are getting here, this is smaller than this one. This is smaller than this one. It means smaller number minus larger number, which becomes negative. It means the sign of numerator is negative. Sign of numerator is negative. If the sign of numerator is negative and sign of denominator is positive, because it is positive, it is positive, it is also positive, it means f dash of x is less than 0. If f dash of x is less than 0, then the function is decreasing. But for what value of x? For the value of x is greater than 0. It means 0 to infinite. In 0 to infinite, function is decreasing, right? So okay. Okay, so now we are done with question number 5. Let's start solving problem number 6. Sixth question is very interesting question. Okay, so now I'm going to rough it. Okay, so in problem number 6, it is given that f of x is equals to x upon sine x. F of x is equals to x upon sine x, and g of x is equals to x upon tan x in the interval 0 to 1. 0 is less than x is less than or equal to 1. Then in this interval, both functions are increasing, both functions are decreasing. F of x is increasing and g of x is decreasing. So these are the options. So for deciding the increasing or decreasing function, what we have to do, we have to find the f dash of x and we have to decide the sign of f dash of x. If the sign of f dash of x is positive, then it will be increasing. If the sign of f dash of x is negative, then it will be decreasing. So very simple technique to find the decreasing and increasing function. So first, f dash of x is equals to derivative of this term. With the use of quotient rule, we can find x upon sine x. Denominator at front, derivative of numerator is 1 minus numerator at front, derivative of denominator is cos x upon sine square x. Denominator square, it means sine square x, right? So from here, we are going to take cos x common. So cos x is common. So now here in this term there is no cos x, so we have to divide this term with cos x. So sin x upon cos x. There is no cos x, but we are taking cos x is common, so we must have to divide with cos x. So now here cos x is common, so remaining term is x upon sin square x. Now you know very well that sin x tan x minus x upon sin square x, tan x minus x upon sin square x. Now for which interval we have to decide 0 to 1, but here x is taken in radian. X is taken in radian. 0 to 1, 0 to 1, it means approximately the angle is 0 to 1. 1 radian means approximately you can take 57 degrees, right? So it is in the first quadrant. So in the first quadrant cos x is positive. So we are going to decide the sign of f dash of x, right? So in the first quadrant cos x is positive, denominator is also positive because sign is also positive in the first quadrant. But now tan x minus x, so we are going to draw a graph of tan x, and you know that the graph of tan x is something looking like this. Here there it is pi by 2 minus pi by 2, it is plus pi by 2. So this is the graph of tan x, right? Now, if it is a tan x and it is a x, it means y is equals to x and it is the graph of y is equals to tan x. Now we are going to draw a graph of y is equals to x, which is passing like this: y is equals to x. So from this point is somewhere 57 degrees. So you can easily observe that y is equals to tan x, the curve of y is equals to tan x and the curve of y is equals to x. In this interval, which one is larger? Which one is larger? Tan x is larger or not? Tan x, the value of tan x is larger and value of x is smaller. It means in the interval 0 to 1, you can easily observe from the graph, right? You know the graph of tan x and you know the graph of y is equals to x. So y is equals to tan x is looking like this, and y is equals to x, which is passing at the 45-degree angle, right? So y is equals to x and y is equals to tan x. So we are going to subtract tan x minus x. It means tan x is greater than x. It means tan x is greater than x. It means tan x is tan x minus x is greater than 0. If it is greater than 0, then we can easily say f dash of x is also greater than 0. F dash of x is also greater than 0. If f dash of x is greater than 0, then f of x is increasing in this interval. F of x is increasing in this interval. So our answer for f of x is increasing, right? Everyone got it or not? From the graph, we can easily observe that. From the graph, we can easily observe that it is positive. Positive means increasing, right? So now we are going to decide the sign of g dash of x in the given interval 0 to 1. So what is g dash of x? G dash of x is equals to denominator at front, derivative of numerator is 1, minus numerator at front, derivative of denominator is sec square x, tan x, derivative is sec square x upon tan square x, right? Now convert all the terms into sin x and cos x. We will get here tan x minus x upon 1 upon cos square x upon tan square x. So taking LCM cos square x, in the denominator it is a sin square x upon cos square x, and LCM of cos square x, so here the term is cos square x. Now converting tan x into sin x upon cos x, but extra cos square x is multiplied with this term because cos square x is LCM. So cos square x is multiplied with tan x, and tan x can be written as sin x upon cos x minus x, right? Okay. So cos x cancel, cos square x cancel. So here the remaining terms are in the numerator sin x into cos x minus x upon sin square x. But we are going to multiply numerator with 2. So 2 here, 2 here. So if we are going to multiply it, then we also have to divide with 2, right? So 2 sin x into cos x is equals to what? Sin 2x. Sin 2x minus 2x upon 2 sin square x. You know very well that 2 sin square x is always positive, denominator is positive, but we have to decide from numerator. The value of numerator is what? Sin 2x minus 2x. So we are going to decide this from curve. So what is the curve of sin x? The curve of sin x is like this. The curve of sin x is looking like this, right? The curve of sin x is looking like this. And uh, what is the y is equals to 2x? Y is equals to 2x. Okay, we can also take like this sin x minus x, right? Because यहाँ पे जो एंगल है वो सेम है, इसलिए हम यहाँ पे क्या लेंगे? sin x minus x, right? So sin x minus x. So this is the line which is y is equals to x, and this is the line curve y is equals to sin x. So here you can observe that y is equals to x line is larger than y is equals to sin x. It means कौन larger होगा? Larger होगा यहाँ पे sin, sorry 2x larger होगा कि नहीं? देखो यहाँ पे x line है वो larger दिखाई दे रही है कि नहीं आपको? देखो x है वो larger है और y is equals to sin x है वो smaller है, यानी कि ये जो वैल्यू है वो कौन सी होगी? नेगेटिव होगी कंपल्सरी, बिकॉज sin x is smaller where x is larger, it means it is less than 0. If it is less than 0, then g dash of x is less than 0. G dash of x is less than, it is decreasing. G dash of x, g of x is decreasing. The nature of g of x is decreasing. Nature of f of x is increasing in this given interval, right? So please note it down carefully. चलो देख लो एक बार. If you can comment in chat box. Get it, everyone? Okay, great. Okay, तो ग्राफ की हेल्प से हम इजीली यहाँ पे चेक कर सकते हैं कि कौन सा फंक्शन लार्जर है और कौन सा स्मॉलर है, राइट? So with the help of graph, we are going to decide the sign of f dash of x and g dash of x, right? So if f dash of x, here f dash of x is greater than 0, it means it is increasing, and g dash of x is less than 0, it means it is decreasing. So in the given options, correct answer is option C. F of x is increasing function. Yes, f of x is increasing function. Option C is correct, right? In first two options, there is given both functions are increasing. Second one, both functions are decreasing. Both the functions are not increasing and both are not decreasing. But here in the C option, it is given f of x is increasing. In the D option, it is given that g of x is increasing, but no, g of x is decreasing function. So we have to select the option C. Okay, so take a screenshot and let's moving forward to next question, which is asked in IIT 1998. The function is given. So I'm going to write a question here. चलो अच्छे से समझना, कॉन्सेंट्रेट करो यहाँ पे. Question number 7. In the seventh question, function of x is equals to x square minus 1 upon x square plus 1. So this is the given function. For every real number x, the minimum value of x, okay, so we have to find the minimum value of x, right? So this is the problem of maxima and minima. So for maxima and minima, we have to find the critical points. So for the critical points, we have to find f dash of x, right? So f dash of x. This is the question of IIT 1998. IIT 1998 question. So we have to find the minimum value, right? Minimum value of f. Minimum value of f. Okay. So this is the question. So first of all, we are going to find f dash of x. So f dash of x is what? Denominator at front, derivative of numerator is 2x minus numerator x square minus 1 is at front, and derivative of x upon denominator square. So now simplify this. We will get here 2x cube plus 2x minus 2x cube minus plus 2x upon x square plus 1 whole square. So sorry, this is the 2x cube. X is here, so into x means 2x cube gets cancelled. So remaining term is 4x upon x square plus 1 whole square for x upon f dash. So this is the f dash of x. So comparing f dash of x with 0, we will get here. So this denominator can't be a 0 because x square is a positive. X square is positive term. X square is must be greater than or equal to 0. Now we are going to add 1. So it is also greater than or equal to 1. Squaring both the side, you will also get x square plus 1 square is greater than or equal to 1. So denominator can't be a 0. So numerator can be a 0. So for x is equals to 0, it means x is equals to 0. X is equals to 0 is what? This is the critical point. X is equals to 0 is the critical point. So in the number line, we can put 0 here. Rightmost side, the sign is positive. 0 is coming from which power? Odd power. It means sign changes. So in this function, in this interval, function is decreasing. In this interval, increasing. It means 0 is what point? 0 is minima point. This point is local minima. So by the first derivative test, we can easily say that the 0 is local minima point. Or you can also find it out from double derivative test. If you are going to find the double derivative test, then you have to differentiate this with both the sides, and you will get here f double dash of x is greater than 0. If f double dash of x is greater than 0, then the point is local minima point. But here we are going to decide from the first derivative test. So it is the local minima point, and we want the minimum value, not minimum point. We want to find the minimum value. So we have to substitute 0 in the function. So f of 0 is equals to 0 minus 1 upon 0 plus 1 is equals to minus 1 upon 1 to minus 1. F of 0 is equals to minus 1. So answer for our question is minus 1. Okay. So this is the answer. Okay, so got it everyone? Buffering issue is there. Okay, wait for a minute. I'm just going to restart. Still, is it blur? Okay.